Hey, and thanks for tuning in to the Rick and James Show. I'm James.
And I'm Rick. How y'all doing out there? Hey, today's Thursday and weekend's about to hit us. So if you don't have anything to do and you need something to do, we're going to tell you about some things happening around Columbus, Phoenix City area, even Auburn if you want to come down. But there's a few things that you can do in the area, so you can make your little bucket list. There's a lot of people that lived in the area and haven't visited half these items in the area, and we'd like to get people to come out and start living and enjoying life. So let's get to the list now. I can ask the question, how many people have been to the Columbus Museum? James?
I went. I didn't find it all that great, to be honest.
Right now they do have a quilt display, and they also have there's a war display up there. I think a war museum. They have they sponsor different stuff. They always sponsor different stuff, month to month. So, they have different exhibitions. They also have the Civil War Naval Museum. You been to that one, James?
I've not been to the Naval Museum.
Yeah, it's got a little show, and it talks about the boats back during the Civil War. They also have the Coca-Cola Space Museum. I sent my kids up there. They seem to like it. It's like the shuttle mission. You can go in there, and they got other things, interactive, a lot of interactive stuff to do up there. Also, Lake Harding, if you like boating, fishing, Lake Harding. Westville. How many people have been to Westville? It's like 1,800 town.
I heard it wasn't as good since they moved over to their new location. I heard it was a lot better.
They were having problems getting people to come out there. Plus, they had less people working out there. I took a couple tours down in there. Also, the Botanical Gardens. It's a nice place. I've done a lot of DJing out there doing weddings for the Botanical Garden. It's a good place to rent if you have a wedding. It's just a nice place to walk around and look at. If you don't know where it's at, if you go to Lowe's. You're going down the side of Lowe's. On the right side, the road splits. You just go hang to the right, and you'll see it on your left. Also, Flat Rock Park. That was a big hangout for me when I was growing up. Flat Rock Park, we slide down the rocks and everything. It's a lot better right after it rains. Also, Lake Oliver. There's a lot of things. People go down to the Riverwalk, but, very few people have walked the whole Riverwalk. It's 10 miles long.
It's a long walk.
Yeah, or you can ride a bicycle. Start at the dam, and it's completed where you can ride all the way down to Oxbow Meadow. And it's another place you can visit. Goat Rock. And on the Riverwalk, there's a lot of things to look at. The old dam. You can stand there and watch folks come down the Class 5 rapids around 4:30, 5 o'clock, and watch them get dumped into the river and get back in and go back around. Then there's the Bartlett Center Art Museum if you like looking at paintings. Ma Rainey, it's the old Blues Museum. Let's see, Standing Boy Creek Wildlife. And those who don't know, Katie the cow. It's a lot of people wonder why this cow was just sitting up on the hill over by Peachtree Mall, because where Best Buy used to be. What Best Buy is, it used to be a dairy, Connect's Dairy over there, and Katie the cow used to have a baby cow, and somebody stole it, and it's never been recovered. They had a contest to name the baby cow. I remember that growing up. There's also Cooper Creek. A lot of people don't know about Cooper Creek, and they also have tennis out there if you play tennis. So they got a big walk trail where you can walk Let's see, Hollywood Connection, Heritage Park. I drove by Heritage Park the other day, and I noticed there wasn't water in the displays. It's right there on, I think it's Riverfront Highway. It's got the little paddle wheel. It's got some stuff in there that you can look at, walk around.
Yeah, I've never been there either.
There's a lot of places that people don't. There's also a lunchbox museum. If you're into lunchboxes, I carried a Daniel Boone lunchbox growing up. Thought it was a cool thing. But if you're into lunchboxes, we have a lunchbox museum. South Common Softball Complex. A lot of people. We just got through playing the Softball World Series. The girls had their championship, and I think was it Oklahoma that won. I think.
I have no idea. I don't follow softball. I actually don't follow most sports. So.
But also, Idle Hour Park on Phoenix City side. Got a big lake to walk around. The only thing is at night, I don't know if they took all the ribbons down, but for a while there, you couldn't even sit in the area where, the picnic area. They had it all closed off. I remember me and Roz, the owner of Sharks, went down there and we kind of sat in there and told us we couldn't sit in there because of COVID. And I'm like, so we can sit next to each other on a bench and eat. We just couldn't sit inside the pavilion and eat. That was kind of crazy. Also, the dam. If you ever been on the Riverwalk and go look at the dam, it's pretty cool. You got to go up there on the Lake Harding side, enter, and you can see the dam. That's the top part of the Riverwalk. And if you walk down, there's some stairs on the right that you can walk down, and you'll be looking at the dam. It's pretty cool. It's a good place to fish. I've seen some huge carp up there, about 6-7 feet long. Some big fish up in there. Heath Park, Britt Davis Park, and then we also have a gallery on 10th Street. Chattahoochee Indian Heritage, and then we call it the Woodruff Farm Riverfront Park, which is what we call it, the splash pad and the playground right there.
Do any of these places have actual events going on this weekend, or just places?
These are just places to go if you ain't got nothing to do. Also, you have the Columbus Aquatic Center, and then that Cooper Creek Tennis Center. And then these are just places that you can go. You don't need a reservation or anything like that. Just go and see. And then we have pull up the list of things that was happening this weekend. There's a concert this weekend on Fort Benning, but you have to be a DOD
ID card holder.
ID card holder or know somebody. And it was it Ritz and the
Fitz and the Tantrums, along with Macy Kate. I'm not sure who that is. Fitz and the Tantrums is pretty big.
It's a free concert.
If you know anybody with a DOD ID card, they can bring up to 4 guests. You have to stop by the Lindsay Creek security checkpoint there.
Yes.
And get a pass.
Yeah, they got to get clearance. Make sure they don't have
for all 4 guests over the age of 18.
Should be a good concert.
There'll be no food or beverage vendors there.
Bring your own stuff.
So it's bring your own. They do allow coolers. No glass. Can't bring anything glass.
That's cool. What else? What was that other list of things that we had going on this weekend? There's not a whole lot. You still have your plays. Was it Spamalot? Still playing at Springer Opera. Let's see what else we had on that list.
They're also doing fireworks that night.
Oh yeah,
that's part of the
show. Big fireworks show. Fort Benning has never disappointed me with fireworks, and usually 4th of July on Fort Benning is usually celebrated, I think, a week early or something like that.
They're doing a drone light show.
Oh man, that ought to be awesome.
So that should be pretty cool. 6:30 general public venues open. But 7:15 to 8:15 opening act Macy Kate. 8:15 to 8:55 Silver Wings parachute demonstration. 8:55 to 9 remarks. 9 to 10:15 headliner Fits and the Tantrums, and then from 10:20 to 11 p.m. is the Columbus Airport fireworks show and MCOE band with drone light show. And this is at, I believe, Yorkfield. Yep, so Yorkfield is where I believe everything's going to be.
So that sounds like a good thing to do. You've never done it. I still don't understand why Fort Benning Museum's still closed. They said due to COVID. I'm like, all the other museums, were open, so I just don't understand it. Why they have to be closed. So that's a mystery to me. What else? What else you got going? What was that? Pull up our list again, or things that we had going on. Oh man, I've been having a pretty busy week.
That's pretty much all that's going on this weekend.
What else we got going on? Yeah, what was the other one? Annual father and son. What was that? Under the Sun. There's a few things, but don't hang in the house. We got to get people out of the house, quit stressing, get out there and do some things. And like I say, there's probably a lot on that list that I just named that you probably never done. A lot of people's never been to the Springer Opera House to watch a play. There's a kids class at the beach. What was that other one down there?
This is Painting with a Twist.
Painting with a Twist?
So not actually at the beach. At the beach with Van Gogh styled paintings of beaches, I guess.
Get your kids out doing something. Just get out and do something. And then, of course, every Saturday morning, you can go to the Columbus Uptown Market. It's a fun thing. A lot of local vendors will be like arts and crafts, baked goods. That's been one of my favorites, the baked goods. I enjoyed that.
Well, at the Convention and Trade Center, they're going to have the Elite 8 Duels, a wrestling talent. 8 all-star teams to battle for 7 matches wrestling. I don't know if that's
I think it might be high school.
Is that an actual wrestling or
that's
like TV wrestling?
No, this is wrestling. Actual wrestling teams.
Let's see what it says.
You'd be surprised. Columbus has been doing pretty good in wrestling. I think Northside did real good. Actually got some. I think they have an Olympic, a former Olympian coach that comes down and help.
Yeah, it doesn't say. I hope it's real wrestling, not a.
Yeah, it's not WWE.
You know what I'm saying.
It's competition wrestling. So, I mean, get out. You need to explore your hometown, because when I'm out there, there's hardly any of us local people out there. Even when I went river rafting, I was the only local person, and everybody else. A lot of people travel a long distance. Come from Washington State. People are coming from South Carolina just to ride the river, the whitewater rafting down there, because it's a world class rafting thing. So it don't matter if you're a beginner or expert. If you don't have your own kayak, you can rent a kayak. If you don't want to ride a kayak, you can ride the big raft like I did. It's a fun thing to do. They have a little area where you can practice your rolls. If you go upside down and spin around, work on those. They give lessons, pointers, tips. There's a lot out there to do. You don't have to hang in the house. Get out there. I talked to a nurse the other day, and she says they're not even recording the flu. Nobody's paying attention to flu or pneumonia. That's not being accounted. All they count is COVID. So, I know that's a sensitive subject because, like, some people.
It's not sensitive. I'm just tired of talking about it.
Yeah,
like, that's all you hear anymore is COVID this, COVID that,
and
who gives a shit.
And you still see people out there, running around. I understand, if you're a sickly person, but I see little kids with mask on. The whole family got mask on, and this is like they're scared. And they don't want to do something. They can't get together for a backyard barbecue. They're scared. I am a candidate. I'm a high risk candidate because I'm over 60 and plus I have diabetes type 2. But I've weathered the storm. If I saw somebody sick, I just moved away from them. The only time me and James ever masked up is when we were forcibly made to if there was some place we had to go. Other than that, we've never worn a mask. And my customers, I've only heard of a few people that actually I only heard about maybe 2 or 3 people that died from it. I always ask my customers, you know anybody that had COVID? Yeah. A lot of people got COVID and didn't even know it, so you have to go take a blood test to figure out if you had it or not. But I'm glad that, I'm trying to hope this thing would die down, but they keep kind of, we got a new, but that's like the flu. The flu comes back every year. It's a different strand, so we get a different flu shot. Is that not true? And if you get it, just like the flu, if you get the flu, does that mean you won't get it anymore? No. If you get the flu shot, does that mean you won't get the flu? You can still get the flu with the flu shot.
Yep.
So I don't understand. I'm not a health expert or anything like that. That's my disclaimer. But I think this thing was way overblown. I'm more concerned about. They had an accident on 65. That's real. This nurse told me about this. She's also a ballerina. One of her ballerina students said that there was a van of girls that they were in a girls' ranch coming back from Florida, and a big semi swerved and ended up catching on fire. The van caught on fire, and the only person they survived was the driver, and the girls. All these 6 little young girls got burnt up. They were already having problems because they were already living in a girls' home. But one of her students knew every girl that died. And it was a pretty sad story.
Yeah, it's one of the more dangerous things we do every day that people just write off. Drive a vehicle.
That's one of the most. People who are scared to fly, you have a better chance of getting hit by lightning than crashing in an airplane. If you go by billions of miles per accident or something like that, flying is one of the most safest things you can do. Really. Think about all the people have traveled around the world.
There's about 1.3 million fatalities on the roads every year worldwide. There's like 3 planes. Yeah. Unless it's a small, like Cessnas go down pretty often. It's like, but commercial flights very rarely go down
because that's big international news. Something happens like that. Also in the news, they also had they had 2 buildings that crashed. I didn't get all the story, but there's one that in Miami that just crashed. A tower. It was a condo. It just collapsed. They said they didn't hear no explosion. The thing just collapsed. So I'm like,
what is that one?
It's North Miami. James is from that area, so there's a big mystery going on. So that's going to be a big investigation.
Surfside building.
Yes.
One of the family members, I saw it on Facebook earlier though. He called it something else. It wasn't Surfside. It was I guess that maybe they have a different name for the. It was in Surfside, Florida, but the name of the building.
It just collapsed.
Let's see what it says here.
It looks like Beirut.
Look at that shit.
Yeah, it looks like Beirut, don't it?
Let's push that over there so the other people can see it. Man,
Look at this building. Look like somebody.
Look at this shit. We don't need to save no AP nothing.
Nope.
Yep. Get out of here. Get. Nope. Thank you.
There you go.
No.
Look at that.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Looked like I got hit by a missile, didn't it?
Look at that shit.
It just collapsed, and they're looking for bodies.
Look at that. That's crazy.
Yeah, they just collapsed.
The whole side of the building right there gone. Look at that shit. Ooh, I got a video. Let's see if we can watch the video. Gone. Oh, hold
on. Come on, let's go.
The Champlain Tower, Tower South, is a 12-story building. It's more than 130 units, and about half of those have collapsed. A massive search and rescue is underway, and we know that we're going to do everything we can possibly do to identify and rescue those who have been trapped in the rubble.
We had a 12-story, 136 unit apartment complex that had sustained a partial collapse. The northeast corridor of the apartment had collapsed, approximately 55 apartment units. Our units began search and rescue efforts. They pulled 35 occupants that were trapped inside the building. In addition to those 35, 10 were assessed and treated. 2 were transported to various hospitals. Search and rescue efforts are still ongoing.
About why
we do have operations conducted inside based on additional intel that we're receiving from resources inside.
No explosions, they said. It just collapsed. You would think it looked like it was imploded or something. But yeah, and I think there's one in Washington that happened. So I know that when they in China, they had a building that collapsed. They executed the guy that built the building, the contractor.
In China, I bet they did.
Yeah, they don't play. You mess up and somebody got killed. They went and got the contractor and they just executed him.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Look at this building, man.
Yeah, it's
looks like a bomb hit it, didn't it?
It's something else.
I've been in an earthquake, and it was pretty scary. And I've been in a volcano eruption. I was in the Philippines when the volcano erupted. That's
You know they had earthquakes here?
yeah. Every
I
now
remember that as a kid.
Yeah, every now and then we actually sit.
People thought I was crazy until I looked it up. I was like, no, there was an earthquake here. I felt it.
We're on a fault line. We are on a fault line.
We don't get many, but they do happen here.
Yeah. I was in a rough one in the Philippines. I had a buddy who was up in Baguio in the mountains when it happened. He thought he was drunk because stuff started sliding off, and then the house that he was staying in, he was in a resort, fell off the foundation. And the Americans were the only ones that had working equipment that could rescue anybody. So we set up search and rescue and was digging people out, and it was terrible. The stuff that we donated, blankets and everything, the Army would set up stores and sell our stuff that we gave, supposed to be helping the needy. They took it and set up a store and started selling it. And then when they were recovering bodies, you see a lot of them were like taking the jewelry and even knocking out teeth of the people who had gold teeth. They were taking their teeth out their mouth.
That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. So it was a bad situation. But yeah, that's about what's going on in Columbus. And like I say, you need to get out there and do something.
Don't get out there too far in Columbus, though. We're already up to 37 homicides this year.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. What?
So you can get out there, but just
Yeah, be in a safe area. I don't know.
Don't get out there too far.
I don't know what's going on because our average, they said, was like somewhere around 30, 38 or something like that.
Average last year was a high. It was like 42.
Yeah, but our
we're
average,
already 37.
Yeah, our average for the whole year is usually in the high 30s, low 40s, and we're already at 36. And we're not even half a year in.
So, you know.
June 3rd will be a half a year in, and then the other half.
Don't go to Peachtree Mall.
Oh yes, that's the most ridiculous. That's people getting shot at Peachtree Mall.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
I drove through the parking lot and I noticed it was kind of empty.
All the time.
I was there the other day and I kind of empty. I remember that everybody used to hang out the mall.
There's a shooting, like, not everybody, you know, they don't all die, so our death tolls at, like, homicide-wise is at 37, but there's shootings every day.
Well, I was in the mall.
Every day.
I was in the mall one time. I broke up a fight over a hat. There were 4 people fighting over a hat. And these were like, I just screamed at the top of my lungs and asked them what the hell were they thinking.
I'm glad your ass didn't get shot.
Well, you know, they were swinging and punching. It started in the store and spilled out into the mall where I was at. And I was walking into it was the backside of Dillard's, you know, on the J.C. Penney side. And these kids, and when I broke up the fight, I just asked them, why were y'all fighting? And she gave me this hat, and I said, and it's supposed to be mine. I asked him, who owns the hat? So I made him give it back, and I said, y'all need to go before the police come. So they booked out. I got a friend, he's a mall cop, and I asked him, did you see me on the video doing your job? It's crazy. All these shootings going on. I think I looked it up and it was like 36 people have gotten shot.
It's died. That's just a died. We're up to 37 now.
Oh,
that's just the homicides.
Another one happened?
Yeah, on the 20th.
Wow, 37.
37 so far.
I wonder if it has to do with all this. Police are bad. Defund the police. Police scared to do anything. They're trying to make it where you can just sue a cop. You know, they're not immune to anything. Our politicians are immune from being sued. Somebody should be suing Como for putting all those COVID infected people back in the old folks' home. Nothing's going to happen to him. But let a cop, you know, do something. I understand if they did something against the law. But if you go out there and put your life on you don't know. Everybody should have to do that shoot, don't shoot. You seen that where they make you stand up in there and you have your gun and you figure out if you should shoot or not shoot the person. And there was a activist was up there against the police all the time, and he took it and he shot. He either got killed or shot the victim themselves. You know, he couldn't even figure out because you only got a split second to think about. I think being a cop just too hard, you know, very stressful, and it's a hard thing to do because when you don't pull your gun, that's when you get killed. If you pull your gun, you know, you don't know, is that a cell phone they're pulling out? Especially if they don't listen to any of your commands. I wouldn't know what to do.
You couldn't pay me enough to be a cop right now.
You used to be a cop.
You couldn't pay me enough to do it anymore.
I mean, it's ridiculous. It's just totally ridiculous. Anybody who thinks all cops are bad should try and do the job. I've seen plenty of videos where women cop stops somebody, and when they pull them out of the car, they're in a fight for their life because they done grabbed their gun, just laying down and on top and just beating a cop, or let a cop run somebody down into a neighborhood and trying to tackle and handcuff them. You got the neighborhood people pulling the cop off so the perpetrator can get away. That is just stupid. You look at New York, they're throwing, just taking bottles of pee and everything else and throwing it in their face, and the cops ain't allowed to do nothing back.
If you throw a bottle of piss in my face, I'm gonna shoot you.
I'm telling you, I don't know.
Shit.
I don't know what's going on. And then you see the cops or security. Yeah, they're not allowed to arrest nobody. Look at Portland. We need to move to Portland. You can steal $500 a day. $500 a day, or more than that. Just if they're stealing less than $500, you got to let them go.
Is it California maybe? 950.
Oh, California's 950.
950. You can steal. It's a misdemeanor.
Oh, it's not a felony. Bad boy. And then you don't even get. They let you out right away because you
It's a
don't
misdemeanor, and the district attorney won't prosecute.
Won't prosecute you.
So
And they wonder why crime's going.
you can walk into a restaurant, sit down, eat and drink $950 worth of food,
And walk
get
out.
up, walk out.
And misdemeanor. Bad.
No, they won't even do nothing.
I was watching the video where
Nothing will be done.
This guy rode a bicycle into a.
I think it's small business that some guy comes in and does
Yeah.
that to. Boom. The business is shut down.
Man,
Done.
I don't know. I don't think you can do that in like a Cuban barrio, one of them little barrio stores, or Puerto Rican.
I know, because they're going to beat the shit out of you.
I know. Now some family members coming out with a baseball bat or something, or shoot you.
But then they go to jail, and the guy that was stealing is just like,
He was
nothing
trying to.
happened.
He was trying to survive. He was trying to survive. That's all. He was just. He was getting bread and lunch and some detergent so he can wash his clothes.
That's why I don't live in California.
That's why everybody's leaving California and New York. All the rich people are leaving. Anybody got money? They're all moving to Florida. Did you know that? They're all moving to Florida.
Good luck buying a house down there.
Well, don't bring your shitty ideas.
Housing market in Florida is just ridiculous right now.
I know.
Price of house down there which was already astronomically high.
Yes.
The cost of living, but now housing down there is like 3 times what it was.
Because everybody wants to leave these stupid states and get out of their stupid state where you can't do nothing. And now the president says nobody needs a high capacity magazine that deers don't wear Kevlar or something like that. He says if you want to overthrow the government, you're going to need an F-16 or something like that.
Makes a good point.
But still,
Somebody was talking the other day like, I'm gonna load up all this ammo, and if the government comes here, you ain't fighting off the government. You know how a tank works, right?
yeah. But the thing about it is, you got to remember, some people
They don't even need a tank. Yeah, they'll just drop a bomb from 5,000 feet.
Well, there's also you have those military coups where where like some military guys are going to go, I can't shoot on the civilian population. I'm not going to. It'd be pretty if I was in the military and people are like pissed off at the government, like what's going on, and I'm not sure I'd want to go shoot some, take my tank out or whatever, and shoot on the population. This is an American you're shooting on. This ain't like some foreign.
It won't be black and white like that, though. It won't be.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Because if it's black and white like that, it won't happen.
Yeah, but it's crazy now. They think that if you take away from the guns from all the law-abiding citizens, will the crooks turn in their guns too? Huh?
Is that a serious question?
Yeah, that's how stupid. So
It's not how that works. They don't buy the guns legally anyway.
well, see, if I can't get a cop to come to my house and save me, don't you got to protect yourself?
But then you'll get the people that say, well, if all the law-abiding citizens don't have guns, where are the criminals getting the guns from?
Well, that's another dumb thing. Well, then
Mexico, you
then-
can only buy guns from the government, right?
Yeah.
Like
okay.
you have to go.
Cartel don't get their guns from the government.
You have to go to legally buy a firearm in Mexico. You have to go to the military basically and buy the gun from the military. It's a military store that you go to.
And so they got your gun registered.
That has zero
Suppose-
effect on the cartel owning guns.
I know. Oh, they got missiles.
Zero.
They got missiles and everything else. They get whatever they want.
So, yeah, no, gun control only works for law-abiding citizens.
Yeah.
Not the people that are doing illegal shit anyway.
That's for sure. That's for sure. I don't understand. I was out in Marion County. I got robbed. It took the the sheriff department 16 hours before from the time that I called, my house got robbed out there, and I'm sitting out there waiting for the popo to come down there and check on me. They pull up around 9 o'clock at night, and I report in the morning. No lights on, no flashing lights. They just pull up my yard, and I'm sitting there ready to ambush the guy to come back to finish robbing my house.
That's county though. That's sheriff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sheriff could have been all the way on the other side of the county though.
Well, I called it in, and 16 hours. Come on now. So like when he pulls up, I had to drop on him with my laser sight and AR-15 and a shotgun, and he was mad at me. They pull their guns, trying to flash their flashlight in my eyes. Says, "It's the sheriff department. Put down your gun." And then he went over there and disarmed me and made me lay down, check me. And they said, "What are you doing pointing a gun at me?" I said, "Well, you never identified yourself. You just pulled up my yard. No flashing lights. You shut your lights off." And my roommate who was in the house, we were just out there checking on the trailer, says, they're back. So I come back from hiding in the woods to see who it was. I couldn't tell who it was.
You were hiding in the woods?
Yes, because there was a trail that, I found stuff on my trail, where they had stole stuff. So I was waiting on the trail, see if I could catch it. If they were going to come back and get the stuff that was on the trail.
So you weren't hiding in the woods.
They were.
You were checking the woods.
I was checking the woods. Yes, waiting for them people to come back.
Can't say you were hiding in the woods.
No,
that sounds kind of.
They said I couldn't ambush anybody. I said the hell I can. I said somebody just broke into my house and stole a bunch of stuff. I'm waiting for them to come back. You didn't come fast enough. And they didn't take no fingerprints. They didn't take no pictures. Guess who took all the pictures and brought it to them? Me. Took a bunch of pictures on my cell phone. I even found the crowbar they used. They dropped that, handed that. I was hoping they'd pull nothing. They didn't want to do nothing.
Yeah, they ain't gonna do nothing.
Just told me, file your insurance. I said, I didn't have any insurance.
Especially with the sheriff's department, for somebody breaking into your house, they're not doing all this shit.
No.
So people watch too much TV and think.
No, they didn't do no forensic, like you see on TV trying to find some fingerprints. They didn't do none of that.
Yeah.
They just looked around. So what's missing? And I told them what's missing, what I could find, just off the top of my head, what was missing.
Yeah. No.
And then it says, ask for serial numbers. If you didn't have that, you're SOL. Basically, they're telling you.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
Again, people watch too much TV and think,
Oh,
your
no.
house gets broken into, and they send this big crime scene unit out.
Oh, no.
To dust for fingerprints and check for. No, that's not.
No, they
Especially out in the country with
Oh,
the
no.
sheriff's department. That's not.
No, they just asked me what was missing.
It's not how that works.
No, yeah, nobody, yeah, it looks like they pried their way into it. And I said, well, I found this right here that they use this. Okay. They didn't even take it for evidence. I said, okay, this is how this thing works. Yeah, it's a big shocker for me. The sheriff department was on call 24 hours, 3 days a week.
I also like how in like movies you see them run DNA and it takes like an hour, 30 minutes. Like they just pop it in this little thing and that's also not how that works. In case
I know
it takes like a week.
Yeah, I know it's a big backlog. I know there's a big backlog. You see that stuff all the time. Big backlog.
It takes like a week to run DNA.
Yeah, and you got to keep calling back.
Sequence everything.
You got to keep calling back. Is it ready? No.
Takes a long time.
Yeah, it just don't happen. Even look at the court cases now. I don't know I know they've been backed up ever since this COVID. So you can be over a year, for some little henny penny stuff. Your life's on hold. Everything's just topsy turvy. They were supposed to hire some more judges to deal with the backlog of immigration. Now, did you hear about they want to give the illegals COVID shots?
Good.
No, they shouldn't even. Why are they giving COVID shots?
Wait 5 years down the road and see what happens.
Well, the thing about it is they get COVID shots. You go to New York. I think they give you $12,000.
If you want to get a COVID shot, that's all on you.
I'm not getting it.
I don't.
I haven't. I haven't got one.
I'm not gonna
They said we won't be able to leave the country if we don't get a COVID shot.
give it 5 or 10 years down the road.
You know, see who's growing horns on their head or
There you
something
go.
like that.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's not truly a vaccination. It's messing with your RNA or something
Well,
like that.
it is a vaccination.
No, they had to
However,
reclassify it. A vaccination is something different. Like you get a vaccination for measles. Guess what? You're not getting the measles. You get for chickenpox, you ain't gonna get chickenpox. This has to do. It's not a. It attaches to your
right. It's
your
it's an mRNA
messes with your DNA sequence.
vaccine.
No, they had to reclassify it to call it a vaccine. I looked that up. That was about they had to
So
do,
what is it called now? If it's not called a vaccine?
No, they had to reclassify it in order to call it a vaccine.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, it's never been used. This is the first time this technology has ever been used in humans ever.
Yes, and they're just hoping that they got it right. So I don't understand why people who already had COVID has to get the shot.
So y'all be the guinea pigs.
Well, look at how many. Did you see how many the healthcare workers got fired or quit because they refused? Why are the healthcare workers refusing to get those shots?
I'll smile and wave when you start getting anal leakage. Okay.
I don't understand it. Why are the healthcare people? They're pretty split on that. There's a lot of healthcare people that won't take the shot, got fired or quit because their boss was requiring them to take the shot.
Yeah, I don't believe it. I don't.
No, that was on the news. People.
No, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying that's not.
So, do the healthcare workers know something that I don't know?
I'm telling you, wait for that anal leakage.
Yeah.
Everybody's running around shitting their pants because
Yeah, we don't know.
like, you don't know what that thing's gonna do to you.
I know I was in the military and like you go somewhere they
No idea.
Look, did you know all the shots that they were giving you? You know what they were. You just said, oh, you're going to this country, get in line, and then they give you these
Just get
shots.
a bunch of damn shots.
Yes. And then I think my brother, he was a Marine.
The difference is with those shots, though. I mean, maybe not, because
Some-
again, you really don't know what they're giving you. But any vaccine that is pushed out to the public normally goes about 8 years of testing before it hits general population.
It wasn't 8 months of 8 months of testing when this thing came out.
So
Yeah.
5 to 8 years. They say under the 5. There's been a couple that's been pushed out under the 5 years. None of them are on the market anymore, by the way.
Yeah.
That's been pushed out under the 5 years, but they normally have a lot of issues with those. So
Yes, we
five,
don't-
5 to 8 years is the.
And why are they pushing on kids? They're trying to push on younger
My
and younger.
kids ain't getting them.
I don't understand it. They said kids' survival rate. You know, then they're trying to exploit
At
it.
your age, it's probably be all right.
Yeah, I ain't got much to live.
Like 10 years down the line,
I've got nothing to live for.
if
I got nothing to live for. Is that what you're trying to tell me? Rick, you're 60. You're 60. You're 62.
my kids got
yeah.
their whole life ahead of them. They ain't
Yeah.
getting that shit.
Yeah, Rick. Yeah.
Now,
Rick,
anyway.
Rick, you just gotta. How much? You're good for another 10, 20 years, maybe. You know.
Give it about 6 years of testing in the general population and see how many legs fall off, or
I know people who took
know.
shingle shots and ended up getting shingles. Take a shingle. There's shingle. There's pneumonia shot. You know.
Well, yeah, the shingle shot. Did you have? I mean, did they have chicken pox as a kid? Because that's what shingles is.
Well, I
So
think I had chickenpox and measles.
I mean, you got the shingles virus in you now. So getting
Okay.
shingles shot ain't gonna really
Yeah, you gonna help me.
do nothing.
Okay, so I guess that's why I shouldn't get it.
Maybe it keeps it from. I don't know much about the shingle shot. Maybe it keeps
Now
it from
I'll take
inflaming.
I'll take the flu shot. You know.
Well, yeah, there's been a lot of study on the flu shot.
Yeah, I'll take
and
the flu
we
shot.
went through a lot of testing. And
Yeah, I'll take the flu shot. I've taken the pneumonia shot, but
I don't take the flu shot.
you know,
Um,
you're still young.
Oh well, no,
Oh.
it's only about.
Yeah, but old people die. That's
There's 2 strains. There's A and B. One
Yes.
of them's like almost 100% effective, so you won't get that strain. But the other strain, because the protein, they get it from an egg, and the
Yes.
protein of the actual flu virus itself is not as close a match to the egg as the A or the B, the opposite one. So it's like only 50% effective anyway. So
I think the B's worse than the A.
you got your
Yeah, the B's worse.
50-50, you get it or don't, whether you get the shot or not.
My ex had both of them in 1 year, and I was so afraid because
And each year you don't get a shot for the A and B, you get a shot for whichever strain they figure
Yeah.
is going to be the worst that year. So,
yeah, and they modify it. If there's any other new flu, they kind of try and make it a.
well, that takes time though.
But they do that. They modify it.
That takes time, so that the next year you'll probably have a shot for if there's a new strain, you'll have a shot next year. But the year you get it, it's predicted.
Yeah, you remember all the shit.
Whichever one's gonna
Why
be
does
worse,
it?
and
Why
that's
does
what you
this
get.
stuff always happen around each presidency?
So, it's
You remember you had
politics.
avian flu. You had there's always a new flu coming out around a presidency. Every 4 years, a new strand of flu comes out. So stuff's all crazy. But you got anything else?
I ain't got nothing else.
All right. We want you to have a good weekend out there. Be safe. Have fun. Get out. Do things. Get this economy rolling again. If you don't have a job, go get a job. There's plenty of people out there looking to hire folks. All right.
Everybody's hurting for a job right now. Not hurting for a job.
Hurting for people.
Hurting for people to hire.
So that's all we got. My name's Rick.
I'm James, and thanks for tuning in to the Rick and